Welcome to spring, and welcome to the first video to be recorded at my new, much more spacious apartment in one of my favorite towns in all of New Jersey, West Orange. Yep, West Orange holds a special place in my heart because my parents, before they moved to Florida, they would take me sledding on Belterre Road right off 280 right here in West Orange. No, not West Orange, Texas. West Orange, New Jersey. Anyways, today for April's video, this one might be a little bit somber because at the time I'm recording this, my dear grandmother, who was diagnosed with stage 4 Alzheimer's recently, is days from passing. So this video is dedicated in memory, well, even though she hasn't passed yet. By the time this video goes up, she probably will have passed. So this video is dedicated to the memory of my dear grandmother, Dolores Lux Kleinberg. As she would always say, I feel obliged to say it. I love you to the moon and back, Grandma. Rest in peace. I'm sure you're happy to be reunited up there with Grandpa after all these years. You were a true inspiration to me. You were there for me through thick and thin, and I can't thank you enough for everything you did for me. So, rest easy, Grandma. I know I'll see you up there when my time comes. And I'll even quote you when my most fond memory is when my cousin, who's 10 years older than me, and my sister and I would be watching TV, and you'd come in and say, "You still watching that crap?" So I apologize if I sound a little somber in this video, but if you're wondering why, that's what it is. Anyways, on with the video. Let's stop talking about cadavers here. So we have another box. What might this be, you ask? Well, really, it's something you've seen on this channel before, but I found this deal on eBay. I've made about $700 selling some of my laptops on eBay, one of which I shipped out just today to a seller in Georgia, believe it or not, because I don't know where the town was. I'm assuming it's a suburb of Atlanta, but for those who don't know, I lived in Atlanta for 2 years. But I came back to Jersey because, well, my long-term subscribers know why, but for those who don't, I'm originally from Morristown. I was born in Morristown. My parents moved to Florida when I was 6, and Jersey's always home to me. I still have friends and family that live here. It's just home to me. Plus, I like my change of seasons, and I don't like the humidity in Florida, and there were many other reasons that I left Florida, one of which I can't talk about because I don't want my channel to, I don't want people to, I don't want, certain comments to be posted regarding this matter, but anyways, whatever, I'm getting off track here. Jeez Louise. Okay, let's get on with the unboxing of this mystery item. Now this is just the introduction video to this item that we're in question, but I have some pretty prodigious plans for this particular item. So, oh, and there's a charger included. Look at that. And I thought it didn't include the charger. Well, look at that. I scored a free charger. Look at that. It's my lucky. God must know that I'm a little melancholy about my grandmother, so he bestowed this lovely Dell. It's even an official Dell charger. Look at that. Well, thank you, Baruch. Toda rabba, Adonai Echad. So now is the main attraction. Dun da da dun da 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 da. Yep, this seller sold me this laptop for $70 out of Tucson, Arizona, which is actually where one of my uncles and I have an aunt and uncle that have a winter home in Tucson. Do I have any desire to go back there? No, because I love New Jersey. I love the East Coast. It's home to me. Sorry to offend anyone who lives on the West Coast, but, well, I don't mean to offend anybody, obviously, but, I'm just an East Coast person. I'll just put it that way. It's a Jersey thing, just like on South Park, right? Alright, anyways. let's go ahead and cut through the bubble wrap here. Oh, I didn't even need my knife. Duh. Okay. All right, well, you can tell it's late at, well, it's not really that late at night, but whatever. Maybe I did need my knife after. Oh, screw it. Screw it. So we'll take the bubble wrap off here, and oh my God, this is a familiar sight now, isn't it? Yep. Guess what? I bought another Dell XPS M1210. Now you're probably thinking, Ben, you had a Dell XPS M1210 when you lived in Boston. What happened to it? Well, long story short, I sold it. Because it did not come with Windows XP Media Center Edition, nor did it have the NVIDIA GPU. It had the standard Intel GMA 945 GPU. So why did I buy another Dell XPS M1210? Well, for one thing, this thing was dirt cheap, and it looks to be in pretty damn good condition. For a laptop from 2006, I mean, there's some minor scuffs and scrapes, but that's to be expected. We'll take a look on the inside later, but why did I buy this? Back to the story. So basically, one of my favorite games growing up was Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Now, I know there's been debate about like which Roller Coaster Tycoon is the best, and I will go out on a limb and say Roller Coaster Tycoon 4 Mobile and Roller Coaster Tycoon World are absolute trash and belong just there in the trash. But out of the three original Roller Coaster Tycoon games, I played one a lot when I was a kid, and don't get me wrong, I loved the Chris Sawyer games, Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2. But 3 really stood out to me, even though Chris Sawyer had nothing to do with its development. I really enjoyed playing RCT3, and that's actually how my channel started, believe it or not, when I was almost 11 years old in 2008. For those who don't know, I joined YouTube in February 6, 2008. I still remember the date. I joined YouTube. I signed up under the name Morris B. Morris, because I was born in Morris County, New Jersey, in Morristown. But anyways, and B because my first initial is B. But anyways, that's just the fake name, and I think I put my birthday in like 1955 or something like that. But anyways, getting on with the point. I wanted a laptop that I could play my original copy of RCT3 on, and I have a ton of laptops, and I do have it installed on my daily driver. But amazingly, RCT3 Vanilla does run under Windows 11 with Windows compatibility mode for XP enabled. But I wanted a more period-correct laptop to play it on. And the Nostalgia Mall, thank you Billy Core for this idea, did a video on a Dell XPS M1210 with an NVIDIA GPU, and I believe this one does have the NVIDIA GPU because the COA on the bottom is for Windows XP Media Center Edition, whereas my old XPS M1210 had a COA for Windows XP Professional. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the new laptop, and I have much more space to maneuver around because I'm in a new apartment, which is considerably more spacious than my old place. And I didn't really like my old place, to be honest. Anyways, let's stop chatting and let's get onto the laptop. So I should probably move the camera closer. Probably should move the camera a little bit closer and we can take a closer look at this thing. So it's in amazing condition. I don't really notice that many scuffs or scrapes. So on the front here, we've got our media control buttons, and we also have our TRS jacks, dual headphone in jacks, and a TRS jack for a microphone in on the front. On the right-hand side, we have a DVD-ROM optical drive. It might actually be a burner, but for 2006, I wouldn't expect it to be. SD card reader here, SD, MMC, and looks like Memory Stick Pro, cards combo slot here, IEEE 1394 Firewire 800 here, 2 USB 2.0 ports here, 15-pin VGA without the screws. Come on, Dell, get with the program here. 10100 Ethernet. That might actually be gigabit Ethernet by 2006. DC in-jack, Kensington lock. Left-hand side, we've got a 56K modem, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, S-video output here. We have a PC card slot here. I believe, actually, this might be express card. Let's see. This is, drum roll please, this is an express card slot. Yeah, I was going to say by 2006, PCMCIA was sort of obsolete, and then that's where the hard drive goes. On the bottom, we've got the COA for Windows XP Media Center Edition 2005, battery, RAM cover here, information sticker here, which if you want to, let me bring it closer to the camera. If you want to pause and read that, go for it. If you want the service tag, go for it. And well, I don't know. I sort of kind of want to. Well, you know what? I have a copy of XP Media Center Edition, but I don't know. Maybe later I'll show off that key. But let's open this up. Oh, that's a beauty. The screen's dusty, but it looks to be in pretty darn good condition. All right. So let's zoom in a little bit, and we'll take a tour of the inside. So on the inside of the XPS M1210, we've got the touchpad here. The left mouse button is a little bit sticky, but it looks like it does still go down, so that's excusable. Keyboard appears to be in good condition, 10 keyless QWERTY keyboard here. Keycaps have minimal wear, but it's a silver finish, so wear really isn't that noticeable. Power button here, media direct button here, XPS M1210, num lock indicator light, caps lock indicator, scroll lock indicator, Wi-Fi indicator, and Bluetooth. I'm not sure if this model has Bluetooth, but we'll see. On the screen hinge here, we've got a power LED, hard drive activity LED, and battery LED. Now, unlike my old XPS M1210, this one, let me just wipe the screen down with my hand. There's a lot of dust on there. It's a 12, I believe that's a, I'm terrible at math, but I think that's a 12.1-inch glossy LCD panel. Active matrix, of course. Believe the maximum resolution is 1280 by 10. I don't know. Does this go full HD? Well, we'll figure it out. I'll boot into Windows and we'll figure it out. But yeah, it has a sticker for a Centrino Duo, which means it's probably a Core Duo or a Core 2 Duo. We'll see. We'll figure it out when we go into the BIOS. Designed for XP and Vista capable, which I will be putting Vista on here. That's one secret revealed. So let's plug this sucker in, and let's see if it works, because the seller did not know if it worked, even though he had the charger, which I didn't know, because he didn't advertise. The seller did not advertise this with the charger. But let's see if this laptop will power up. So I'm going to plug it in. Oh, that plug is no good. Someone painted over it. Okay, well, I seem to be having some trouble getting the power cord plugged in, but so there we go. So when you move into a new apartment, all right, the battery LED came on. That's a good sign. That means the motherboard is good. Let's hit that power button. We got a power light. Will the screen come on, though, is the next question. Okay, we have a blinking caps lock and blinking scroll lock light. No beep code, though. So I'm wondering if this has bad RAM. Well, you and me will find out together. The laptop does power on, though, so that is promising, but let's shut it down. It's not giving a beep code, which is interesting, and I can't seem to shut it down. So we're going to unplug it. I'm going to flip this thing over. We're going to remove the battery. And let's see if there's even any RAM in here. I do see a stick in there, but I don't know if it's bad or not. So we're going to remove it and see if this thing will boot. Let me grab my screwdriver set, and we'll get working on this thing. 1 second. Okay, I removed the bad RAM module and got the system to post, but the display is cracked. So I'm going to have to order a new LCD for this thing. Not to worry, though, because they're pretty common, but hey, at least I figured out what the problem, why it wasn't posting. We at least know that that the secondary RAM module was bad. So what I'll do, so this is this is only the beginning of a new project. Let me grab an external monitor, and we'll see if we can get this, and we'll see what we can do, what we can find out about this machine while we've got it like this. Here we go. I need a new camera too, but guess what? I found an LCD panel. Come on, camera, don't do this to me. I found an LCD panel for this laptop, and I have just ordered it. So that will be phase 1 of this laptop. I do have extra RAM for it, so we are good there. But in the background, I took a monitor. I have an external monitor connected, so we're going to move the XPS out of the way. I should probably put the RAM cover back on. Because it did have a bad, my suspicion was correct. It was not posting due to a bad secondary RAM module, but not to worry. I have plenty of DDR2 RAM modules that we can throw in here, so that is not a problem at all. As for the screen, I just paid about $70 for a new screen, but hey, that'll be phase 1 of this laptop repair project. Now, if I can figure out, okay, I got the battery to go in. Okay, so let's boot it up. We're going to go to the BIOS, and we're going to go to the BIOS. Oh, I've got to plug the cable in all the way. That would help. So we're going to go to the BIOS, and let's see if we can get a signal on that secondary monitor. I hope the VGA port is good on this thing. Did I plug it in wrong? I think I did. No, it's because the connectors are... This is, you see kids, you see why I don't like VGA ports that don't have the screws, because the connection is always very loose and doesn't provide a good connection. Okay, we got an error, so I'm going to press F2 for setup. And we are not getting anything on the external monitor. Alright, well that was probably just telling me the CMOS battery is dead. So let me get out of setup here. I wish I could see. Just so you know, well, you already saw. I did order a new LCD panel for this computer. So, all right, let's try booting into Windows, because for some reason it doesn't want to work with the BIOS setup. So I do know that sometimes. Let me try function F8, I believe it is, to switch to a to switch to the to an external display. Function F8. Or does that only work? I know sometimes it doesn't work in... Let's see. So I'm going to press... Can we do F2? Okay, so there's probably no OS on here. The hard drive does not sound like it's spinning. Is there even a hard drive in here is the next question. Well, you know what? We're about to find out. If there's not, it's no big deal. I have hard drives that I can install in here. So let's open this up. The hard drive is located... right here. Let me point the camera down. The hard drive is right here. Oh, looks like somebody did take the hard drive out. That or there's no OS installed on it, but let's see. There is a drive in here. It is a Seagate 120 gigabyte drive. There's some writing on it. It says... What does that say? Zips? I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what they wrote on there, but there is a hard drive in here. Not sure if it's any good or not, but we can test it by trying to install an OS on it. But first I need to get this external monitor to work, so let me find another external monitor because this one evidently does not work. That doesn't work, but for some reason we're not getting any video signal when I plug in the VGA cable. I think it's because of this lip here on the connector that's causing the problem. So let me grab another monitor. I'll be right back. Yeah, my suspicion was correct. That lip on the other VGA cable wasn't making a solid connection, but I found another monitor. So here we are in the BIOS. So let me zoom in so you guys can see. BIOS date is June 9th, 2006. Wow, that can't be a coincidence, because June 9th happens to be the birthday of my dying grandmother. That can't be a coincidence, can it? Alright, whatever. So we have a Core Duo CPU, as I predicted. Not a Core 2, but that's okay. 1.66 gigahertz. Does not tell me the model, but that's okay. Half a gigabyte of RAM, so we had a gigabyte in there, but because that one stick was bad, it brought it down to 512, which is okay. No hard disk is detected. So, okay, so I do have another hard drive we can throw in here. I can grab it. So, okay, so the hard drive in this is, so it's clear to me that the hard drive in this is no good. So that drive is probably dead. So that's okay though, because I have other drives. So we will, so you know what? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What? Seriously? Tell me that's not, tell me, wait, no, video. What? No. Oh, you are kidding me, right? This has the frickin' Intel graphics too? You cannot be serious. I thought this had the NVIDIA. I thought anyone that had Media Center Edition XP had the NVIDIA graphics. And you're telling me it just has the frickin', oh, balls. Well, never mind. I take it back being my lucky day. But anyways, yeah, it's not booting because their hard drive is not even detected in the BIOS. So let me grab another drive and let's see if hopefully the SATA ports are working. So, be right back again. Alrighty, so I went through my spare parts bin and I found a replacement RAM module and a spare Fujitsu 60 gigabyte hard drive pulled from a 2006 Dell Inspiron E1505. So this is a period correct hard drive. We also have a period correct Samsung 512 megabyte DDR2 RAM module. Before we do anything else though, I want to make sure this will actually post with this module in. I want to make sure it's compatible. So I'm going to do a test boot here, and if the system posts, then we will move on to the hard drive. And bon appetit, it posts. So yep, that other stick was bad, so that explains why it wasn't posting with that. Mystery solved. Well, at least one mystery solved. Alright, so at least we know that that it's not the RAM connector on the motherboard that's the problem. It was just, it had a bad module. So now let's move on to the hard drive situation. Because I didn't even hear this drive spin up. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to pull this drive out. Is this thing even screwed in? It is not. Okay, so we're going to pull this drive out because obviously this drive is no good. Or as they say in German, it's kaputt. So let me remove the Fujitsu drive from its caddy here, or forgot to take the caddy off when I pulled this from my Inspiron E1505, which this XPS M1210, by the way, is more like a big brother to the E1505. We're going to put in the Fujitsu drive like so. Let me just make sure that the contacts are going to line up when I do this. Oh gosh, I'm going to need a flashlight, aren't I? Nope, it's going to line up. So let's put it in. Or not. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. I never... Oh yeah, because the contacts have to be facing this way. Duh. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so I'm not going to put the screw back in yet. I just want to see if this thing will detect the hard drive. So I'm going to plug in the monitor again. And we're going to repair what some people would consider e-waste. This is only video number 1. More videos on this to come. Okay, let's boot this up. We're going to go into the BIOS. I'm hitting F2. Might have to hit the toggle key again. But I want to go to the BIOS, please. I can't tell if we're in the BIOS. Looks like we are. So I'm going to hit the toggle key again. Okay, seriously? Oh, I know what it might be doing. It's probably telling me the amount of system memory has changed because I put in that replacement RAM module to replace the bad module that was already there. That's probably what it is. Yep. F2 for setup. Toggle key. Alright. Does it detect the drive? Let's find out. Yes! Bingo! And bingo was his name, oh ladies and gentlemen. There it is. 58 gigabyte HDD. That is a relief. Knowing that that drive, knowing that the SATA controller is functional, is a breath of fresh air. So that means the drive that was in there was simply kaput. Alright, so we have solved 2 problems with this laptop tonight. We had bad RAM, we swapped that out. Oh, I didn't even check to see if it detected all the RAM. Yep, 1024 megabyte, 1 gigabyte of RAM, yep. So it now recognizes all of the RAM. We put a replacement hard drive in. So now all that's left to do is address the broken LCD, which I can't even get the camera on because it's pointed in the wrong direction. And you can't see the shattered LCD, but basically, yes, that is the problem. So that is the only thing that needs to be addressed. I have a brand new LCD panel on order. So I think this makes a pretty good introduction video for this laptop. The next thing I want to try, though, involves the software side of things. Yes, I want to put in a Windows disk, and I want to see if the optical drive will work on this laptop. If not, it's not really a big deal because I've got plenty of external optical drives. Plus, I can install Windows. I believe these XPS M1210s do support booting from USB, but you know, if the optical drive does turn out to be no good, I do have some replacement optical drives. Not sure if they'd be compatible, but we'll find out in a moment. So once again, back in a flash, let me grab a Windows disk. And I is back. So, I have a totally legit Windows Vista Business Service Pack 2 disc here, and oh my gosh, there is a DVD, there is a CD in the drive. Adam Nixon. Yes, this is what I found in the optical drive. Yeah. So, Adam Nixon, if this was your computer, it is now possession of Benjamin Kleinberg. And you're not getting it back because obviously you are a laptop abuser. And just like animal abusers, we techs don't take kindly to laptop abusers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not really a cruel person. Don't worry about it. Alright, so let's get out of the BIOS here. And let's see if we can boot from the DVD. Oh, this is a Windows 10 disk. Whoops! This is not a Windows Vista disk. Why it's labeled as such? I have no idea. But let me grab a real Windows Vista disk. Good night. Okay, I'm back again, and this time I have a real Windows Vista disk. Yay. Yes, I realize I could use a Windows 7 disk, but this computer is Vista capable, so let's use a Vista disk just for shits and giggles. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear there. What the heck? Why is it trying to boot? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's trying to boot into Windows 10, which is what's on this hard drive now. So is it not... What? Okay, it's not booting from the... So the optical drive may be no good. I didn't realize that. So maybe that was a Vista disk, and I just didn't see it because the optical drive may not be working on this computer. So let me... I wish I could see... Can I get to the boot menu at least, please? There we go. CD-ROM drive. Can we boot? Press any key to boot from CD or DVD. And there we go. Windows is loading files. That's what I wanted to see. Alright, so yes, that does mean the optical drive is functional. You gave me a heart attack there for a second, XPS M1210, because I thought for a second this optical drive was no good too. But it looks like that isn't the case because, oh my god, and this camera is pissing me off. Ugh. I need to get a new camera. Maybe I should start a Patreon or a GoFundMe page. Help Ben Kleinberg get a new camera. But yeah, there we go. Windows is loading files. Yeah, I don't really care about the Windows 10 installation that's on there right now. Windows 10 didn't run very well on the Inspiron E1505, nor do I have any desire to put Windows 10 on this laptop. But I do want to test the keyboard and trackpad to make sure they're working as well, to make sure I don't need any additional parts here. We've already swapped 2 parts for free, so let's go ahead and see if we can't get a copy of Windows Vista loaded on here. don't worry, I probably won't be activating this. Maybe I will. I don't know yet. I mean, I don't really plan on putting an SSD in this thing because I'll be honest, the XPS M1210s require SATA 1 SSDs. Anything higher than SATA 1. Let me hold on. My phone just went off. Hold on. Where's my phone? Oh, jeez. Oh, never mind. My watch didn't go off. So never mind. I thought my phone went off, but it didn't. Okay. I'll find my phone later. I don't care about it. Oh, it's right here. I'm an idiot. Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyways. Enough with me futzing around. Anyways. What was I saying? Oh, right. I wanted to test the keyboard and trackpad. We already found a working hardware. Oh, right. I was talking about the SSD. That's right. That's right. So basically, yes. So the thing is, the reason I'm not going to be putting an SSD in this thing is because you have to use a SATA 1 SSD. Any SSD higher than SATA 1 will not function in this computer. I learned that the hard way when I lived in Boston. But yeah, anyways, so you gotta have a SATA 1 SSD for this to work. So I'm probably just going to leave the hard drive I put in there. I need to screw it in too, but there we go. Windows Vista. Yay. And we only have English. The left mouse button does not appear to work. I am pressing the left mouse button and it does not appear to be working. I can click the right mouse button. The right mouse button works though, but the left button does not appear to work. Oh joy. Well, we will probably need to disassemble this thing and maybe get a replacement palm rest for it because that is a major problem if the left mouse button is non-functional. But can I tap? I can tap to click. I can tap to click. It doesn't work very well, but I can at least tap to click. So we will not be putting it in Filipino Philippines. Yeah, that button is dead. So yeah. But at least I can tap to click, so okay, well that's promising. So we'll set this to English United States. See, this is why not having a functional trackpad is a real problem because I'm trying to click, there we go, English United States, next. Install now. Can we do it? There we go. Okay. Yeah, see this, so we're going to have to take a look at that trackpad and figure out why that left mouse button isn't working. So let me get my toolkit, because it's not worth installing Vista if we can't use the left mouse button. So we need to figure out what's wrong with that left mouse button. So let me get my toolkit. We're going to power this thing down, and we're going to take this apart. I'll probably just cut to when the computer's opened up, but yes, at least we know the optical drive is functional, so that's a good sign. Let me power this down, let's get to work on it, and let's see if we can't fix that trackpad button. So I've got the XPS M1210 fully disassembled, and now I can see why that trackpad button wasn't working. As soon as I opened up the trackpad assembly, I noticed, come on camera, I noticed this. Why isn't the camera adjusting? There we go. I noticed this. The membrane for the left mouse button had completely perished. So that means what I'm going to need to do is super glue. Well, I don't know if I can super glue that though because of the PCB, but I'm going to have to find a membrane to reattach the left mouse button to the to the touchpad here. So let me go through my laptop collection and I'll see what I can dig up. So after a bit of shuffling around, I've come to the conclusion that I probably am not going to be able to repair this trackpad because the membrane for the trackpad button seems to be pretty elusive to find. But not to worry, because I found the palm rest with the trackpad assembly on eBay. So you know what? It's only $8. I'm okay with being out $8. I'm okay with spending $8 on this. So you know what? Screw it. We're buying it. And I can do a transplant if I wanted to, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just go ahead and order a new palm rest. We'll replace the whole palm rest assembly. So this palm rest probably could be salvaged, but I think at this point I'm spending way too much time trying to repair something that just isn't worth it. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and replace the whole palm rest. It can't hurt. So we're going to put this in the throwaway pile. And let's get on with the rest of the laptop. So we're basically at this point, I've spent way too much money and time on rebuilding this laptop, but you know what? I'm doing it for you guys. I know you guys enjoy watching me repair computers, so you know what? If you guys enjoy it, I'll do it for you. So now let's take a look at some of the other components of this laptop now that we've got it all disassembled here. So here's some of the perished material from the palm rest, and here are the media control buttons, which work fine, but I'm going to put it over here. So at this point, we're just rebuilding a junk laptop, so to say, or so to speak. So here is the main board assembly. Surprisingly, it looks pretty clean. There really wasn't that much dust and debris on it. So these components, we know the motherboard is okay, so that's okay. The CPU is under there. Here's the GPU. Let me actually, I don't know if this screwdriver is too small. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Let's take a look at what we've got here, because I want to see what kind of GPU we've got. I definitely want to replace the thermal paste. We can do that but I'm probably going to order a new CPU for this thing, or use one from my spare parts. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'd like to put a Core 2 chip in here. We probably have to remove the fan screws as well. Yes. So let's do that. We can give that fan a good clean. We can give the board a clean with some rubbing or some isopropyl alcohol as well. So let's see. Go ahead and remove the fan connector from the motherboard here. Come on, there we go. Get that fan out of there, and now, boom. Yeah, look how crusty that thermal paste is. Look at that. That is dry as a bone. They used a thermal pad for the GPU. So we will definitely be putting some new thermal paste on this. We definitely are going to be putting new thermal paste on here. But let's take a look at what we've got. So here's our CPU. It's an Intel Core Duo T2300E. So I believe this is the 1.66 gigahertz model. There's our GPU, which looks to be pretty clean. Again, though, we will be replacing the thermal paste. Here is the other RAM module, 512 megs of DDR2, which we will probably be swapping out at some point. Although I think we can keep it at 1 gig of RAM. I don't think that'll be too big of an issue. But I definitely want to clean that thermal paste, so let's address that issue now. I have to go through my parts drawers, but I will definitely get some paste, and we'll get that addressed. Ben Kleinberg Productions presents Applying New Thermal Paste live on video. So, here's what you'll need. 1, isopropyl alcohol. 2, Q-tips or cotton swabs. 3, a container to hold your isopropyl alcohol. So this is a brand new carton of isopropyl alcohol. So we're going to go ahead and remove the protective seal here. And now we'll pour some into our container here. You don't need a lot. And now we'll take our Q-tip. We'll start by, look at that. Look how that's breaking away as I push my finger on it. Oh, look at that. That came right off. That just goes to show that cheap thermal pads are never the answer, kids. Look at that. I could rub the whole thing clean with my thumb. Anyways, so we're going to take our Q-tip in our isopropyl alcohol, and we're just going to clean the surface thoroughly. And if I can get it in the viewfinder there. And we're just going to take our Q-tip, and we're just going to clean all of that old paste off. Just like that. Take my finger, we'll just sort of get all that old paste off. And we'll take the other end, and we will go to town on this. You may have to give it some force, which it looks like I'm going to have to, but that's okay, because it's to be expected, because this paste is, well, this computer was built when I was 9 years old, so we definitely, look at this. I'm going to have to use my fingernail to sort of scrape some of this dried, this is like frickin' cement, man. Alrighty, so let me take my Q-tip and we'll finish scrubbing this. Basically, the idea here is you want to scrub it until it's nice and shiny clean. So let me grab a paper towel here. And I should actually show you guys what, well, you can see. It's in the viewfinder, so go ahead and wipe that down until the copper is nice and shiny, just like that. I still see some paste remnants there, so let me grab another Q-tip here, get some more IPA, and we'll go ahead and give that a nice, well-deserved clean. Yeah, look at all that. Look at that. Oh, shoot. I forgot I have a blue tablecloth, and because isopropyl alcohol, I forgot about the ingredients and isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, see, it bleached my kitchen countertop. Whoops! Well, it's okay. It didn't ruin the components. It doesn't ruin the components, but it did ruin my tablecloth. But hey, the tablecloth is easy to replace, so not the biggest deal in the world. See, I told you stuff goes wrong when I do this. Now, the next order of business is applying new paste. Now, unfortunately, I don't have anything like Arctic MX4, but I have pretty run-of-the-mill paste here. So what we'll do, oh, actually we forgot something. Let me get the isopropyl alcohol. Good thing I double-checked. Because, let me get another paper towel here, we forgot to clean the paste, the old paste off of the CPU die. The most important part of this whole project. Now, where the heck did I put my Q-tips? Here they are. Okay. So we cleaned off the heatsink. We will now do the same to the CPU. So we're just going to take our Q-tip, and the CPU is a little bit easier to clean. But right here in the center dot, on the center of the die, we're just going to take our Q-tip and isopropyl alcohol and remove all of that old paste. And you want to make sure you get all of it until the die is nice and squeaky clean. Let me take our paper towel, clean that off, and there it is, nice and shiny. Just get rid of some of these remnants down here. Take our paper towel and just clean off that die. There we go. All right. Now we shall take our new paste, like so. And you don't need a lot, you just need a little dab, just about like that. That's plenty. So we're going to just apply that to the CPU, and well, actually we should probably clean that GPU a little bit because it looks rather dusty. So we're going to apply some new paste the GPU as well. Again, you don't need a lot. Just about that much is good. Just a little dab. So I'm going to put my paste away. Where is my cap for the paste? There it is. So we've applied some new paste. Now we can put our heatsink back, like so. And what will happen is the paste will spread out evenly over time. And if you have a laptop that has loud or noisy fans, well, it's most likely because of older, crusty thermal paste that needs to be replaced. Repaced. I'm so sorry. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and put this back together. Put some nice new thermal paste on the CPU. That should help with the fan noise. Not that the fans were loud to begin with, but it's always a good idea to change the thermal paste in these older laptops just to make sure. Go ahead and put our fan back. The fan is actually pretty clean. I don't actually see any dust in there, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that as it is. But another thing you can do is take an old toothbrush and sort of open the fan assembly, assuming it's not riveted shut, and you know, just go through and remove any dust particles that build up inside the fan assembly. And I don't actually remember which screw. This is why you should keep your screws in a pill case, but I didn't do that. But I think we need, let's see what kind of screw do we need there. Looks like one of these. There we go. Or not. Alright, well let me find the right screw and I'll be right back. Alright, after a bit of ransacking the place, I found the correct screw. So now the CPU fan is back in place. So, I think this is a good stopping point for part one. So to recap, in this part we, number one, diagnosed the condition of this laptop. Number two, replaced a bad RAM module. Number three, replaced a failed hard drive. Number four, disassembled the laptop and identified a problem with the trackpad. And number five, I don't even remember what I said. Number four, number five, number six, five or six, whatever. I can't count apparently because I can't remember something that happened 2 seconds ago. But anyways, we also changed the thermal paste on the CPU and replaced the thermal pad on the GPU. So I think this is a good stopping point for tonight. Obviously, I'm going to upload these videos in segments, in different parts, kind of like the old days of YouTube, because I sort of want this to be a real-time repair. So what we'll do is we will pick up when either the new palm rest arrives or the new LCD screen, and I will make one video of replacing the LCD and one video of replacing the palm rest with the new trackpad. So for now, farewell. This was part one. Stay tuned for at least three more parts. Take care, everyone. Good night.